Hey guys, welcome back to Finding a Toria. We are really excited to have you listening with us today. I am in studio with my co-hosts Malcolm and Tori. Say hello, guys.
Hi.
Hello, guys.
And
I identify as a problem.
Tori is not a guy. Tori is a problem. And we have a guest with us today. So unless you have been behind our Patreon paywall, you have not heard our dear friend here.
Feed jump. Okay.
So this is our first episode joining in of our dear friend and table mate, Jess Noonerpock. We are so grateful that she's here.
Thunderous applause.
Hi. All right, so we are so excited to have Jess joining us today and joining in our conversation.
Yep.
But we have Tori and Malcolm ready to roll off.
I have some stories to talk about. I know what you're talking about. I'm in that weird position again that if I win the roll off, I don't know if I want to go first, but that doesn't matter.
But that doesn't matter because you can pick.
You got to roll first.
It's just like a coin toss.
Is this just a normal roll?
I am going to say this time we are doing a straight roll. No proficiency bonuses.
Well then, luckily I have the best D20 on the table.
Bird got a 20 last time.
Hey, yeah. She's only 17.
Yes, 6.
6. Okay. No
All right.
bonuses.
You got it.
No
Malcolm wins the roll off. So who's going first today?
Let me think. Let me wonder. Let me ponder. I'd like to defer, if I may.
Oh, okay.
If you're willing
then I'll
to.
launch first.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Bird is going to be joining us in her conversation, or maybe engaging us in her conversation about her pet peeves.
And it's not just me. I've watched like 18 videos on this and
So
tallied up. Yeah.
Common pet peeves at the table.
At the table.
All right.
And I'm going to give this a little caveat. Don't take this personally. Anybody who's listening and you do one of these things, don't take it personally. And it might work at your table.
I'm going to see if I can get my microphone under the table for this episode.
Okay, so here's the thing. I have a list of both.
The top pet peeve at the table, Malcolm.
Well, and I have both a list for player pet peeves and then DM pet peeves.
Oh, I like this. I'm so glad you're going first.
Both.
Oh,
I did both.
okay.
So, and once again, this is I collated a crap ton of sources, so this is not just me.
This is science.
This is a lot of the gaming community has problems with some of these things. Okay, so we're gonna go players first because I know
go data, not science.
Okay.
Yeah, I said collated from numerous sources. I did not say in any study.
Super science.
Yeah, I know. So with players, okay, and feel free to jump in because some of these things, and once again, this is not necessarily my opinion on some of these.
But this is what you have found that the majority of people who responded.
This kept happening.
Okay, gotcha.
Right? Number one, and actually this was mine because I wrote it down before I even listened to
So
shit.
not necessarily hers,
Look
but number
at
one is
your
hers.
fucking character sheet. Know what is on that sheet. That is a lot of people.
You see how nobody really was like, oh God, it could be me.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was like, yes.
And this is any
Always
table.
done it. Yeah, when I'm just sitting there using an item that I haven't had in 2 freaking sessions because
That's fine.
no, it's not. You got to look at your character sheet.
But take 5 minutes to reacquaint yourself with it.
So is this under a broader preparation pet peeve?
Yeah, I mean,
maybe.
And I will say that's where I hit. Like, I have my character sheet always available, whether it's printed or digital. But I am not always the best at, like, if I've leveled up on spells or...
Are my pluses right? Do I have enough
gained a new
slot?
weapon.
That's character maintenance, man.
I'm not always great about that.
take 5-10 minutes while everybody is talking around that table because we all know there is never a hard start at a gaming table. There's not.
Somebody runs in with a bacon sandwich
Yeah,
8
like,
minutes
it
after everybody.
never
I'm
fails.
sorry,
Like-
I'm fine.
Yeah, like 10 minutes. Take 10 minutes. That's it.
So can I play the other side of this one then?
Yeah.
Because I as a DM, I think that would be top of my list too. It affects so many parts of the game. Where do your expectations, or do you think expectations stop there? And I'm going to not pick on, but I'm going to use your character, Jess. We're talking a high level, your Gen 1 character, spells.
I was going to have that as a caveat as well.
That there's at some point that
You're not
yay
gonna
old
know all of
character sheet just becomes too big.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Especially for spellcasters.
So, and I don't want to kick us off to the wrong thing there, but once again, from my DM seat, there's a point where I'm like, okay, I get it. There's 47 free, and you may not, but yeah.
But if you, your character has to learn their spells for the day now.
Right.
If you are plugging those into those spell slots, know what the fuck you have.
Absolutely.
So you have to pick through, right?
So that would be my question.
Which leads into...
So I'd be intrigued to hear Jess's point on this. Because you have both. You have a very massive high-level character, level 20 character spellslinger. You also have that, to be fair, so everybody knows we're sort of jumping around levels with some of our characters as we recreate storyline.
Wibbly wobbly.
So
Timey-wimey.
It is a little different because we are playing those level 20 characters without necessarily having played all the way through from level 1 with them at this point in time. We played that years ago for a lot of us. But then, Jess, you also have a wizard, Wizlock, that you play that you have taken through from level 1. What do you see as the difference there in the knowing your character sheet, knowing the spells, prepping for that?
Even though we only play like once a month-ish, when we play like the, say, level 6 wizard, I don't really need to do a ton of prep for that. I know what my spells are. I just remember them. Mm-hmm. I do double check and make sure I have the ones prepared that I want prepared, but I know what spells I have because I've started her from level 1, started with just a couple, and then gradually added on, and each remembering what the 1 or 2 that I got new, and then I had the spell scroll that I was holding on to that now I'm finally high enough level to do that. I finally got Fireball. Had Firebolt since level 1, but
and it's the exact face that you expect to see on a player who loves
Fireball. Level 5 wizard. Level 5. Level 5. That's your third level spells, folks.
Yep. So that one, I don't even really have to think about it because I know what I have.
You've done it organically.
Yeah, I've gradually leveled up, whereas with my bard, you guys had me make her at level 20.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to pick...
Sounded very accusatory.
Right. I know, like, you had me.
You had me pick it. I had to pick an overwhelming number of spells, many of which I don't know how to play this character yet because it's not from level 1. So I don't actually know what I'm going to use and what I'm not going to use. So it's like I'm not even sure I'm
different
keeping...
experience.
I'm not even sure I'm keeping half of these spells because I just don't know my playstyle with a bard yet versus my wizards. Like, I had a lot of utility spells early on with the wizard that realized very quickly I needed more combat heavy stuff.
Sure.
So at level up, I swapped it all out. So like having not played from level 1, it does feel a little overwhelming and I don't know.
Which is probably not an issue that most people have. I mean, most
Very
people aren't doing what we are doing in that situation. So, okay. Knowing your character sheet shouldn't be too bad of a problem if you're playing from the beginning.
And actually, my second little thing was know your spells, but we're going from that caveat. If you build them from low levels, if you build them up, you're going to know it.
Tori will not admit that you might need to
I have
build
started
from level 1.
2 different level 1 characters in the past couple of weeks. Like, stop.
There's no damn way I can get this mic underneath the table.
For fuck's sake.
I love you, bird.
Jess is close.
2 different goddamn characters, both at level 1.
We can safely provoke her from this side of the table.
I know, it's great. we might
Until
have,
I go
might have things thrown at
WWE
us.
and flip the fucking table.
Right, on break and only 2 of us come back.
It's a good thing the dice are over here. They might get chucked over here otherwise.
So know your spells, but once again, if you haven't built up from that, you're not going to. But once you pick your spells for the day, nobody at the table is going to fault you for taking those couple of minutes to look at what you got.
And both of these, it sounds to me, affect the same thing that we're
Prep.
upset about.
A
the
little
same
bit of prep.
thing. The prep and speed. What we're doing is we're slowing down the game.
So, question from the DM's viewpoint then,
Okay.
Malcolm. Do you think it should be a regular part of the table to give that time and be like, hey, like everybody's here.
I think it's just organic.
10, 15 minutes, look over your sheet.
Yeah, and you can say that out loud, but I think at least in all I have are my own personal examples of gameplay is that you're not having a regimented everyone sits down at 7:59 turning to 8 o'clock.
Right.
And that's kind of built in. But yeah, and in the event that you're showing up late, give yourself some time to do it. A lot of people are going to say for the leveling up work and that character, like changing of the character sheet, the stats, the spell slots, is you do it in a post-game scenario.
Yeah.
After game, experience is awarded. If you're playing that way, level up happens, and everybody gets that little breakout time to bring their character up to snuff for the next thing. We're never going to make it down this list.
I know,
I'm
so
sorry.
Well, okay,
Sorry.
and no, and the knowing your
question.
sheet thing isn't necessarily all on like magic users. I'm not necessarily talking about you. If you're a monk, figure out how to use your key points.
Yep.
If you're a fighter, if you are if you have the specialist, any of the subclasses, you've got extra shit to know.
New bonus
know
actions,
how
new
to-
weapons. Yeah.
See what you have. See how it works. Because if not, then somebody might come in and be like, why did you do that?
I don't know how many times, really early levels, I forgot with Kalen that the number of times he got to attack. You know, I'd be like, oh crap, he could have gotten one more hit in, you know? And
So just being able to play the character that you have that's at the level and has the attributes and the skills so that so you're playing your character.
This one's for the rogues out there. This is pointed because I've seen somebody playing a rogue that I was at the table with. I was playing a rogue too,
deep breath.
but they didn't know how sneak attack worked.
Oh, that is so
sure.
important for a rogue in these editions.
Know how it works, because then the other player playing that same character class isn't going to be like, you fucking idiot, what are you doing?
Right.
It doesn't work like that. So now that leads into, these are 6-second rounds.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
These are 6-second rounds. 6 seconds. That's all a round takes. Oh. They are 6-second rounds. Like, you can blink. So if you work off of like an initiative, like if it's not round the table and you have an actual initiative order, pay the fuck attention when everybody else is rolling.
Right.
Write it down. If you do not have paper and pencil, this goes into another one too. If you don't have paper and pencil at the table, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
So, question to that though. Some tables play where they actually keep the 6 second. Do you like that idea? Do you like something in between? What's your
okay, now when I was talking about 6 seconds, that's how long a turn takes.
correct? But I
Now-
mean, some players do actually like have a little
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't.
timer.
I wouldn't necessarily do that, but just I need everybody to hold it in your head. This is a 6-second round. You are not going to get to do all the things all at once.
And the game's done a really good job lately of breaking down what you can do in a turn.
Right.
You know, you've got your
Action,
free-
bonus, and movement.
absolutely, and you're able to, at least from a DM standpoint, kind of adhere to that. And if they go off of that, then there needs to be cause, reason, and attempt. I don't know. A lot of these to me feel like gameplay flow sorts of things. Yeah. But I'm not a fan of a timer at a table. I will say that in any way. 6 seconds, 30
don't
seconds,
want that.
whatever. No.
Yeah, that would stress me out.
That would stress everyone.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that makes it really hard for new players. Like, not that you want things to drag out forever, but you do need to recognize, especially when someone hasn't played before, that like you might need to coach them through a little bit.
Okay, and with newbies, not a problem. That makes all the sense in the world. They're not going to be as quick to the draw. I'm talking about your players that have been playing forever, who are sitting there like, and everybody at the table is looking at them, and they're too busy trying to figure out what they're going to do. And it's like, what were you doing at the beginning of this fight? You're like 6th back in initiative order.
Well, and there's two pieces there, I think, to that. One is, okay, the actions your player takes, recognize that you don't get to have a half-hour conversation with the enemy. Like, it's a 6-second round. You can maybe get a question off. But the other piece of it is that when it's your turn as the player at the table, be ready to play.
And that digs into, you are playing this with other people.
Social game, yeah.
You are playing with this with other people. So this goes to like being polite, even like as to when you're doing a turn base like that. Like, be cognizant that, 4 other people have to go after you, or, people have gone before you, and prep yourself. So when it gets to you, you can go, I do this. I missed. I'm going to do this for my bonus. I'm moving here.
So quick question on this. And yeah, we'll get off of this and go down the list a minute. But I think that what you really risk in not having prepared players to go in that order and kind of adhering to not the 6-second turn, or at least a concise
but at
turn.
least like thinking about what you are going to be doing.
What you really lose there is the immersion. Everybody kind of comes back up out of the water. And we're like, oh, okay, I was kind of in this.
Yeah.
And we were getting fired on, and things were kind of moving, and it does a little disservice to the jointly created story.
And like using a point of order, that's fine. I get that. Be like, before I tell you what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. AB's like, is this? And then if you get a yes, move on. Like, have options. If you're going to ask a question, have options that you're going to do behind that, so you can still go with the response to that. If this is this, I can do this. If not, I'll do this.
I had a quick question for Jess, because you're the only person that I know at the table who is DMing newer players. How has that worked for you? Because you guys do a virtual tabletop usually?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, they're all in Rhode Island, and I'm in Indianapolis. We kind of have to
got to do that virtually. So question would be is, what have you found on that?
I haven't had an issue.
That everybody's kind of on time and in tune?
Ish. I mean, it's not like we're not like
right. Nothing
military
egregious.
Yeah, but like I haven't noticed anything egregious, and if I have, whenever I do, it's just like,
because I don't think it's all the time a new player problem. I think that it's
yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's just a how
issue.
Right. It's how people play, and it's a pet peeve. Sorry.
Be cognizant that there are other people at this table, and you might be annoying them.
Roll
that
for
happens.
self-awareness.
it's like the group that I am a DM for is my sister and her friends, and they are considerate of each other. Like, they will take breaks when need be, like somebody's cat will interrupt, or
but everybody's giving up their time to meet to do this.
Yeah.
So let's honor that social contract part of
it's
it.
like they know that occasionally the married couple that have a baby are gonna have to, like, one of them's gonna have to go feed the baby, but like the married couple will run each other's characters as needed while that's happening, and
adapt,
they
you
make sure
overcome.
to not derail the game too much. And
All right, Bird, where are we?
So this one can go both ways. It can be a DM pet peeve and a player pet peeve, and then that is players versus DM.
Making it a competitive table.
That's not how this works. The DM is not against the players and vice versa. You are not battling this person. If you were doing that, play a fucking video game.
And if you don't believe me, look at my dice rolls. I mean, no harm.
Yeah. You're not your DM player, like.
And that goes from both sides. Like, sometimes you have DMs who are against the players. Sometimes you have players who are against the DM.
It's collaborative storytelling, not players versus DM or vice versa.
Yep.
that is it. It really drives me nuts because there could be just one person at the table who is like, they're trying to kill me, and it's like, no,
Yeah.
they don't want you dead.
And that breaks the party cohesion up a little bit, and it just all gets ugly. What do you do to fix something like that? Like, is that just a
You
this is
talk
not
to your
table?
players. The player and
That's
the
a
DM need to
communication.
talk.
Yeah.
And that all goes back to you. Yeah, nobody likes confrontation, but
Yeah.
if you're going to make this work, you're with
gotta
other players. Like,
Yeah.
Right on.
and then a couple of the like not paying attention that goes with like just there's
All of it, yeah.
standard stuff. Now, PvP.
I'm sorry, because this
Go ahead.
slows us down a little bit, but the not paying attention, I want to put out there, especially because, we do have a table with neurodivergence at it. I want to put out there that if you are not playing with a group of players that you know very well, recognize that there are some times when there is an apparent lack of attention that is actually the way that that player is able to pay attention.
And I'm not talking about that.
Right. But I'm just saying people might, in some situations, misconstrue that if they don't know their
that
table mates very
player
well.
Real
is
good
able
session
to
zero topic.
Yeah.
And if the player is able to respond, even though it doesn't look like they're paying attention, that's one thing. If it's because they're playing a game on their phone and are too busy zoned into that, that is like,
It's your self-awareness and
put
having
Facebook
respect
down.
for-
Right.
yeah.
Yep.
So I don't.
Caught myself.
Say absolutely.
That was that.
You said it.
That was
okay.
absolutely.
I don't have
Absolutely.
a problem with overusing this word, though. That's the thing.
I have such a
Jess
problem.
is like,
with
I
this
don't
word.
share your affliction. I can say it and still have a good day. You're the one
Exactly.
with the problem.
All right, PvP bird.
Not a pet peeve.
Your people at the table are not your enemies.
Yeah, to me, that's beyond a pet peeve. That's, yeah.
That
And we
is-
touched on this before. Unless it is previously agreed upon,
There it is.
that's a game breaker.
Yeah.
That's a game breaker. That's not what we're doing at the table.
Players completely ignoring a story hook.
Oh.
I'm gonna differ with you there. That comes with the territory.
Yeah, but and then railroading them to find the next clue.
Yeah, and that's
You don't
just
have
bad
to
behavior.
Yeah, you don't have to railroad them.
And one does not mean that the other has to happen, in my opinion.
No,
You know what I mean? If they miss your hook, you don't have to get a shovel and push them back to the hook.
no, you don't. But
Flexibility.
it's also sometimes like
What about
one
it?
player will catch it. One player will catch it, and everybody else is like, "We're going over here," and that player's like, "But the story's that way." You don't have to find Granny Ranny shit.
You're going on the side quest right now.
You had to go save some sheep from a.
Yeah, it was a monster of some sort.
And I was like, you know what? On the map, there is a road that goes to the right. Fuck it, have fun.
And, I think that plays to some stuff we've talked about before in regards to the storytelling and DMing and flexibility is
Right.
sometimes you just have to be flexible.
My issue with it is it intent? Because if you've got a group of players that are like, we know you want us to go that way, but we're going to go, beat up the tavern owner.
Right.
You can get munchkinism in there that's going to make it almost impossible to pivot
Yeah.
to an effective point. And at that point in time, you either agree to let those players have a sandbox to operate in,
Right.
and that's the game, or you have a meeting or
Yeah.
a meeting.
Yeah, it's like what I've done with the game that I'm running for my sister and her friends is that, they've missed hooks before. But because I knew it wasn't intentional, I just pivoted everything so
Which-
that the hook comes. I wanted them to go left, they went right.
I'll see you around the bend.
Yeah, what was to the left is
now to the right.
So I'm going to check this map, and I'm going to, that'll work. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like they were supposed to find this information out from the tavern owner, but
And that's a much easier
now the
pivot.
healer has that info instead.
Right. Then if they were like, yeah, I know, Jess, you want us to get on the boat, and is that a disco with orcs down the road?
Yeah.
If it's
they're
munchkinism
not
we
doing
talked
that,
about in a previous
so-
episode, you don't want to do that.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All
Then
right.
one of my last ones. Hold on, I have to bring this
Yeah,
up.
absolutely.
One of my last ones for players Main character syndrome. One more time, you're playing with other people's. You are not going to be the main character of.
You are not the star of the story.
You are not the star of the story.
You're telling me that every first-person video game has lied to me my entire
Yes,
life.
I am.
And
You're
what
not
about
playing a video game.
What about my Wizlock, who's literally a princess? Like she's
No,
gonna
it
be
doesn't
one day.
matter.
It is a full cast production.
My river rat is just as important as Ellen.
I know.
Just saying.
Let's all just own Kaylin is really just a side character.
But
He was when he was first created because you were also DM.
I know.
But-
I know. He's getting better.
Yes.
So pet peeves are probably going to be around in some form or fashion.
but if you can find strategies to mitigate these,
Communication.
yeah, that's like the key thing. You're going to have some uncomfortable situations. So,
Very, very cool.
Awesome. All right. This has been really fun. I'm so glad we got to go through this. And honestly, I think all of us were like, yeah, I get that. And also, I sort of do that sometimes.
there's shit in there that I do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know I just did that
Yeah.
in this last game.
No doubt about it.
And I feel kind of bad for it, but I would have done it again. But it's what my character would do. Okay, I'm going to kick you in the nuts next time you fucking say that.
Yeah, I totally did that last game that we played because, it's
all good.
You're
It was
role-playing
totally
in the moment.
character.
You're role playing. Yep.
No, and I'm not
I
talking.
remember a first-gen character, Rip, that went out
Yep.
yelling.
It's what my character would do.
Absolutely
Okay, then you're
just-
dying.
Yep.
And that's,
You're dead.
And that's what happened.
What a pivot. What a transition right there.
Exactly. Character death. We're going to go to break and we will come back and Malcolm will bring his topic to the table. But we want to remind you that Finding Atoria is out there on all the socials.
Yes,
You can find us at www.wordleafmedia.com/findingatoria. And as always, push the button. And we
Push the button.
we look forward to talking more when we come back from break.
See you guys soon.
Later.
This episode of Finding Atoria is brought to you by Wordleaf Media. The Finding Atoria podcast is looking for guests for our upcoming episodes. Are you or someone you know passionate about the TTRPG community and have a story to share? If so, contact us on our socials or reach out at wordleafmedia.com/findingatoria. And now back to your program. Back to Star Wars. Okay, that's what happens when you hit every button.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Oops.
So we noted that
Yes.
Bird had some language, and we didn't apologize.
I didn't say sorry, Jess.
And Jess is right here, so you know.
Yeah.
And if we had have said that, it wouldn't have mattered because I didn't have that channel up. So
Okay.
that's on me. We can do it as many times as you fucking want to now.
Sorry, Jess.
Yes, sorry, Jess. All right.
All right, welcome back, guys. We are excited to have you with us on Finding Atoria. We've had a really great discussion with Tori about some pet peeves at the table, and it ended with us discussing how one of those pet peeves, which was, well, this is how my character would behave, turned for one of our table mates into a death of that character. And
Don't do it. Don't do it.
that
Don't do
leads
it.
us right into Malcolm's topic.
Second gen was not a first gen.
Yeah, it was
character,
second gen.
Yep.
I come to you today to speak about death.
Oh my God.
I don't mean to bring the room down or anything.
I
But
didn't mean to.
we're going to talk about that.
The DM wants to talk about killing characters.
Damn.
Oh, I will say we've had character death where we're like, don't.
Let's lay it out there. Let's do a few minutes talking about character death in the TTRPG world and answer a couple questions. First of all, what is it? And that sounds very, very silly. It's the unlifing process of your character.
He's not wrong. Like, let's be honest.
Do you have a ceremonial
He's
burning
not
of the
wrong.
character sheet?
At all.
You laugh, but these things, they do happen.
Send it off in a little Viking boat.
My sources are source
arrow.
books. I just kind of got into Pathfinder, first edition, D&D, 5th edition, 2024. I got into the most recent handbook for Vampire Masquerade. And I also took a look at Shadowrun. So all of these sources and all of
are
these
already dead in Vampire.
Okay, if you're going to look
Forever
at my
death.
show notes,
Forever death.
True death, I think is what they call it in a vampire or zombie situation.
you're all wrong. You're all wrong.
Oh, am I?
We'll teach us, edify us.
No, because it's not that part yet.
Okay. We'll put that away for later. How about that?
Put a
I'm
pin
not
in
having
it.
my segment hijacked. I don't care.
I don't blame you.
Believe you or not. So you want to talk about what it is, and in different systems, it's different things. But for D&D, you're going to go down to 0 hit points. It will be a subtraction of your hit points through damage.
Yep.
And then in the current version,
You have 3 death saves.
3 saving throws.
But
3.
if you... Here, hold on.
Go more.
Because
our mechanics maestro hypes in.
I think it's if you have taken double your actual damage,
Yes.
you're dead.
Yeah,
Like
you
there
are
are
dead,
no
dead.
saves. Once you've taken, like if you have
Catastrophic. I'm
not dead yet.
40 points of damage and your hit points were 36,
Right. You're dead.
or if you take 80 points of damage and you added 36, your player,
So
your
more
player,
than double, you don't get your saving
your PC
throws.
is dead.
So they give you opportunities through the saving throw, and in a role-playing setting, you can see that. Go ahead.
Resurrectable?
No,
Okay.
dead.
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 Well, hold on.
Uh-huh.
Just say it too.
No, you do not.
All right, I've said it now too.
Keep going.
Okay. We're going to
Keep
take a
rolling
look
the
at
dice.
that
The
rule.
maestro is now
I'm paying
tuning up.
attention. I can pay attention and look through D&D Beyond at the same time.
So in Shadowrun, it's a different sort of system because it's a completely different system, but it's a resolution of damage done in a dice pool versus the saves to that damage that you have. And if you come out on the wrong side of that math, you're dead. All game systems have some sort of variant to resurrect, to bring back, so that death is really, really not death.
Dead is
For certain.
challenging to get to.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to actually.
So the trivia question for vampire, what is it? It's final death.
Final death.
Final death, and the difference there is that they don't go back into torpor, and it's over for them. But it's absolutely cool that it's also the first game, or the only game, that the first thing that you do is die.
Right.
And they call that first death like there's an entire fucking buffet of deaths. This is the appetizer death. And then the question is, why does it happen? Why, if we're playing these games, why does it matter? You know what I mean? It's kind of like the video game idea is I can always turn it back on. I can always reset and get 3 lives. Why do we even deal with death? If A, it's hard to get to in the game. B, we can just, not do it and live forever and make them immortal. Why is death part of the game? And I think that it is what differs the TTRPG approach to the video game approach.
Oh, yeah, because you can go back to a previous save point or anything like that.
It matters.
Yeah.
It also means that you're creating a character that is not infinite, that you've got to do things with this life and this time and these levels that you do. Whereas, once again, it differs from the video game thing. So I thought that was kind of cool, and it was interesting.
I'd like to hear
And I was going to put a question out.
like why? What people think of. Why?
Do you think, Jess, that it's important that character death is something that should be in the game, and why do you think so? Do you think that it's an important element, that there's a finality to a character or a possible ending to a character? Or do you think that impacts the game at all?
I think that it's it is important to have that as like a bit of a threat, so that you
Consequence.
Yeah, just because it makes TTRPGs different from something like an MMORPG. Like I'm an avid World of Warcraft player, and death exists in World of Warcraft, but basically you just respawn at a resurrection fairy, and then you can either choose to respawn right there, or you run back to your corpse and resurrect there. But like you basically have to start over what you were doing. Like if you were in the middle of a boss,
But you don't have to start the game over.
You don't have to
and you
start the
don't
game
have to be a
over.
different character.
And you
Right,
have your
exactly.
character, right?
Yeah, so you keep your character, you keep your level. And I think something like Final Fantasy, some of those MMORPGs, like they will actually reduce your level if you die too many times. But Yeah, so it just makes it different because like I can play World of Warcraft forever. I can die 10 times in 5 minutes, and eventually it's gonna, you know.
Do you find that
to resurrect? But
I mean, and I'm sure you love your World of Warcraft character. Do you find the same level of agency there between?
No.
It's not as immersive when you can just respawn. And imagine that in a game setting.
Yeah, it's like
You
I know
go
that
to cross the
stakes
bridge.
are lower because if I fail that first time, then oh well.
I was, as you were talking about it, and I've played World of Warcraft as well. It made me think about the fact that, and not just World of Warcraft, but other video games in general, how you approach the game is entirely different. It doesn't really matter if you die. You can go at that big baddie and test it out as many times as you want to figure out the right strategy to defeat it. Whereas with a TTRPG, you have to strategize. You have to think.
Yep.
I mean, okay, you don't have to, but
So, Bird, you played a lot, played with you a lot. Character death. Have you ever lost one?
No.
Okay.
Have I almost lost one? Absolutely. And it was after it's fine. I don't say it as much as you two.
I know I'm the worst.
Wouldn't it be awesome if we just afflicted them with it and then all of a sudden we stop saying it?
Yeah, right.
And just passed the absolutely's?
Pass the disease.
It's now in your head.
Okay, no.
Patient 0. Absolutely.
Have I lost? I will say this. Have I almost lost a character because I had to do, well, it's what my player or what my character would do because of damage tables.
Yeah.
Was what it was. It was a critical hit and I failed my system shock.
Okay.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So you come close to losing one. In that scenario, not knowing who that character was.
It was Norian when she lost her hand.
Oh, yeah. So what's your, I don't even have to ask. At that point in time, your emotional investment, if that goes south.
I would have been really upset. But, which was why I think you pivoted and said, put her in the bag of holding. That is like, you kill him. Nah, she'll be fine. Stick her in the bag of holding.
I don't know that there was
shows DM
another
being
option.
God.
Yeah, that was not.
At that point in time, because
I
of
would have
our
lost my
tale,
shit.
There were implications beyond the game rules that came into play there. So it's impactful. I think it's necessary for the game because of those consequences ideas.
I'm going to throw in, because this came to me as well. I mentioned Kaylin before being sort of a side character. So for background, for people listening, I was DMing a table where Jess was the only player. I was the DM. There was nothing else. Jess was just learning how to play. And she made a wizard. And so I created a fighter to accompany and, fit into that story.
So I wouldn't die.
Yeah. So I created Kaylin. And Kaylin was really just not a huge role played character because I was DMing. And the whole point of Kaylin was to be the princess's bodyguard. So I guess where I'm going with this is there is an aspect to Kaylin in Kaylin's backstory and how it's been developed and his character in which I recognize as someone who is playing Kaylin that it is very, very feasible that Kaylin will die because it is what he would do.
Right.
That a part of his character is that he will sacrifice his life to keep Ellen safe. And so that is an entirely different story, concept.
The heroic death, the noble death.
Right.
Absolutely.
So
That's two.
Accepting, I guess, that you play a character that
There can be that character might die.
would choose to.
So
Then what my character would do
that led me to my
move the earth itself for resurrection, because that's what my character
and that's
would
cool
do.
because those two characters, knowing who they are and playing one of them periodically at the table, that's exactly what those, if you're handing out role-playing experience points, that's who those characters were written as, and that's them in those situations. So my question is, I was delving into death. Sorry. I really wanted it to be macabre and all kind of spookified, but anyway.
I'm not certain if you can do macabre.
I can. But as the resident spooky bitch.
So the question came in my mind is when should and when shouldn't this happen in game? And it seems very obvious. It should happen when they die. And the hit points are no longer there, for example. But in what scenarios does death really play a role in a role-playing game, in a TTRPG that's a shared story by the group of people at the table? Why death and when?
If I will say this, have the conversation beforehand about player
It's a
death.
session zero.
It is a
Yeah,
session
that
zero
is like,
discussion.
because if not, you can lose 3 people at your table just by killing one character.
Yep.
Because they're like, that fucking sucked. Why the fuck do you do that? To the DM, who could have been like, wait, what? Well, I thought we were playing. Like, what's going on,
Right,
guys?
like
Why
you
are you
could-
so mad at me?
Right, you can write another character, roll another
Yeah,
character.
like,
you're right back in
yeah,
the game.
no.
They view it at different levels of, and then you take another example real quick of somebody who's currently playing the game and getting something out of it emotionally, mentally. That can be something that they just might not be able to.
And you get through.
Right, it could be very negative experience.
I will say, I don't mind character death. Make sure if for some reason you do have to kill off a character, number one, the player is going to be okay. And number two, make it something that means something.
It should
Make that
be
death count.
epic.
Well, unless the play, I gotta say,
Unless
this.
the player's a
unless the player
dipshit.
is just being stupid.
If
And I hate
somebody's
to
out
say
to
that,
Munchkin,
but like,
if somebody's out to Munchkin, they're out to Munchkin. And if that path leads to death, that's a different thing than, guys, we're 14 levels together and you're doing the most heroic thing. And oh,
Right.
you're down. Oh, failed your third. Okay, your turn. No, you sit
No,
there.
you sit there and make it big.
You have a moment. Not that anybody needs to turn on stage lights, but it should be huge.
Yeah.
It should be a very big thing.
Make it count.
yeah,
Okay.
you good?
No, I've got to ask you. So the next question that I would come to then is, what would you do in that session zero? I mean, do you just put out the question of, is it okay if your character dies?
So I was thinking about that.
Like, how do you address it?
As a DM or a GM, I think I would almost, yes, I would want to put that question out there to an extent, but I would also want to make certain everybody sitting at the table recognizes and accepts the fact that within this type of game, character death happens.
And to that point, every manual addresses it in some way.
Yep.
Every manual at least speaks
Absolutely.
to, this is how it happens. And
That was purposeful just for you.
final death.
Sorry.
Okay, that's really all that I had on it. It wasn't a very in-depth. I don't have a lot of data on it. I just know that and then I guess the final question that I have for the table on it, and I don't want to run time too far here, is what do you think is different when you are in a paid game setting with death?
Oh,
Do I have a money back guarantee of making it to 6th
right?
level?
Like that would be, that's a whole other can of worms,
Or
dude.
I would have to think that there's language that says, there
It's
are
gotta
no
be something.
refunds. You know,
And
like,
once again, session zero.
Yeah, and again, back to recognize the game you're sitting down to.
Sure.
Character death happens. Now, if it is something where, and I've, read about people being upset about this, and there's always both sides of the story and whatever, but if it's your DM taking you out and you can't comprehend why on earth it happened, that's one thing. If it is PvP,
Fuck that.
right.
You'll have a whole table come for
I
you.
think there are ways that you could, as a player sitting at the table, be really pissed off about that.
Sure.
Now, there's always other sides to those stories, but bottom line, this is a game
Where you can,
character
yeah.
death happens, and I don't know. I just sort of feel like people need to understand that when they sit down at the table.
I completely agree with you. Just not my character.
I actually talked about this with my sister's table, like in our session.
Oh, you
zero.
addressed this as a
yeah.
DM?
Oh yeah,
Oh, then-
I had that conversation with them in the session zero. I just kind of sat down. I was like, okay, look, death is a possibility. It happens. I will, as a DM, I am not against you. I am not trying to kill you. I am trying to make you be a fucking badass hero. That's my goal. But if you make some stupid choices,
if it should
don't
so
roll
happen
very
that-
well, like
Shit happens.
one of my sister's friends, she's purposefully role playing as complete lack of impulse control because that's she likes the escape from real world responsibilities and having to control impulses. So that's it's her escape
It's her
from that.
therapy.
Yeah, exactly. And the rest of the party is fine with this because it's not too egregious. But
There's a qualifier in there.
but if I told her, that was like, look, if your own actions result in I'm not going to save you. I'm not going to fudge my roles to save you. Your character would die. And like, we just kind of agreed that there's a happy medium of they're attached to their characters.
Yeah, you
If
get
one of-
attached to your characters.
If one of their characters died, they would be really upset about it. And what they wanted was not for me to protect them from everything. They wanted opportunities to bring them back should that happen. Like, sure, there are clerics for that. Like, you've literally got a cleric in your party. So long as your cleric is alive, you have resurrection spells. You just go on a quest to resurrect that character and you're good. I'm totally good with that. That was our agreement that yes.
And
I'm
so
not
that's
gonna-
your session 0 discussion. And there are going to be GMs who are just like, hey, you die, you die. You can't afford the resurrection. Too bad, so sad. And there's going to be others who are just like, they'll give you every opportunity to resolve that situation. Bird?
Well, I was going to say, even the character death happens in some of those big live play games.
Yeah.
And it is from players making mistakes
Yeah.
or doing stupid shit. Like, those are the two things that usually precipitate, like, that. Like, there was a character that they lost completely, like, and this is Critical Role. We're going to come back because this one, I remember what happened. The character, the person was playing a blood hunter. You have to hurt yourself to activate some of your stuff. He was not tracking his hit points well. And he got hit and he was like, that's it.
Oof.
That's
Yeah.
it. And they were low enough levels that they
yeah.
couldn't do anything. They had nothing.
And that was the piece of it too when you talk about the GM giving opportunity.
Yep.
When you are a really low level character, you don't have money.
You don't.
have spells. You don't have a network.
And because of that, they buried him. He
Yep.
came back the next episode with another character.
Yep.
That's pretty much, pardon me, what I had on the topic. But I just think that it's interesting that it works differently for different players have different expectations. And I know that, I know people that walked around with the folder that had 7, 8 characters.
I have so many character sheets sitting in my binder.
that like you might burn through 2 or 3
Yeah,
of them on
I've
that
got
day of
them. Like,
gaming.
let's do this.
I know, and actually, not that I want my characters to die because I'm attached to them, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, I've got this one sitting here, and I really want to play it.
Yeah, like, I've got this Drake Warden that I really want to play, but not at the expense of my Wizlog.
Right, absolutely.
I just want to play yet another game.
The only thing that and we've kind of been doing comparisons on one of the TTRPGs that I looked at, which was the Dungeons and Dragons approach to, and I think I brought it up on other episodes, but death was almost commonplace back then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you were just flimsy and fleshy, and everything was toothy and big, and it just happened all the time. And you would trip over a rock, and if you were close enough to a cliff, well, you couldn't need
Bye.
that new character sheet. The other thing that I would say is that there's a show that's done a fantastic job of addressing character death that's out there that is Faster, Purple Worm, Kill,
Yes.
where death is not only expected, it's
expectation.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
It's a TPK every episode, and it has fantastic people in it. But I just know that, and it was before second edition because we were heroic D&D by second edition. But like that first box set, you really had to have some good luck to get out of first gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was part of the game, and death was to
People
be
will die.
expected. Yeah, and don't get too attached to
Nope.
me. The
Learn the runaway. Run
right,
away.
yes, be fleet of foot. That is all I had. Thanks for the conversation about death. On the finding a Tori. I can't do it. I can't.
You really can't.
Ooh, no,
No, don't do the
Just
don't
not
do the
working for you
quaver.
today.
Just drop it down an octave.
Okay, just death.
There you go.
Ooh.
See?
I scared myself.
See?
That was a
Yeah, you
little
don't have to do the quavering voice. All you have to do is slow it down a little bit and make it deeper.
So you just got to do the like, blood.
And on that note, guys, we are so grateful for you listening to us on Finding a Toria. Thank you for joining us in our talk about
We broke
death
Tori.
and pet peeves at the table.
Peeves at the table might be death.
So, hey, remind you that we have a Patreon account. Please go out, check it out, support us. It would be wonderful. We are also on all the socials. And as always, you can find us at www.wordleafmedia.com/findingatorio. And we are on all of the podcatchers. So check us out. You can find us there.
Say goodbye, Jess.
Bye, Jess.
Bye, Jess.
Bye, Jess.
Yeah, sorry, Jess.